Good morning. Welcome to TERRA at Home. Believe it or not, this is our 200th show today, so we thought the best thing we could do was run away to the circus. So we are at Zacada Circus School here today, and we're here with Costa. Thank you so much for letting us into your space, and this is such a great thing to have in our city here in Hamilton, East Hamilton, and this is a circus school. So who gets to come to this circus school?
Well, we have classes from age of 2 to the adults. Our oldest student was 68. Yeah,
amazing.
The one I had at 68, he decided to want to juggle, and he came to the school. Can you teach me? And we said yes.
Oh my gosh, it was on his bucket list. I love it. That is super fantastic. So let's talk a little bit about your background, Costa, before we get too much into the school. You were with Cirque du Soleil. Yeah,
I was a performer for Cirque du Soleil for 10 years, an acrobat, and travel all over the world. And at one point, you want something more, and decide to transfer our knowledge. And me and my wife Christine, we moved here, and she was in Cirque du Soleil too, and we opened a circus school for teach kids how to do, and adults how to do circus.
Now, your home country is?
Ukraine.
Ukraine. So we were talking about how it is held in very high regard back in the Ukraine in circus school and gymnastics and that type of thing, and it is very important, and it is supported by the education system as well as the government, and so you see the value, and the value in physical fitness for life.
Yes, I still use it. This is the only thing I did in my life, physical activity, and I love it. And yeah, like a little bit different in Canada here, but it's still, we're trying to do our best and give the experience to everybody. You know, like, and there's kids love it, and the kids very committed, and as committed as to hockey or gymnastics.
Right, exactly, and that's the thing. So again, starting at 2 years old, obviously they're coming with zero experience. Two, also coming with experience. So I imagine you have kids who are dancers and gymnasts who want to maybe take it to a different level, take it to a different place, and come here.
Yes, a lot of kids come to us from gymnastics or cheerleading or dance or any background like that, and at one point they hit the wall in gymnastics or dance somewhere, and they're looking for something else, and circus is perfect, and it's good for us because they already have a training, so we can concentrate on the actual circus instead of go back to the beginning
elements, especially, I mean, gymnastics, and that's the thing, as you say, it does get to a point in gymnastics where you kind of know whether you're going to be taking it to the next level or not, but you're still an amazing gymnast. It's just so highly competitive. So, okay, maybe, I want to take it here, I want to take it to the circus. So let's talk about the many elements of a circus and what you can experience here.
Yeah, well, circus, we start with same basics as gymnastics or acrobatics. It's flexibility, strength, and coordination, and we work very hard on this foundation, and we teach kids to be very strong, flexible, and coordinated. And after that, we can teach them anything. There's aerial silks and hoops and trapezes and hand balance, and there's like, circus have so many disciplines.
Well, that's the thing, and so a lot of kids coming into this wouldn't even know what's available to them then until they're here. So they start to see, you know, other kids and adults doing something, as you say, like the hoops or, you know, or certain acrobatics, and they're like, that's what I want to do, that's what I want to be. So they almost need to see it right in front of them and be able to touch and feel it and be part of it to know where they want to go with it.
Yeah, for sure. And many kids come to us from recreational classes or birthday parties that we do, and they're like, oh, I love this, how can I take a class here? And yes, we do offer classes. We have more than 200 students right now, and some of them train in once a week, some of them train in 5-6 times a week. So
that's the thing, it can get very intense, right? Because it becomes your life, and you know that you were probably training every single day of your life for a very, very long period of time. But that's, you know, and again, we talk about the focus right now that even the Canadian government has with physical activity for children, getting your kids out off the TVs and, you know, away from the TVs and off of all of their games and being physical. And if they can come here and be part of something versus watching this on TV, right? And again, obviously Cirque du Soleil has really, really helped Canadians see what the circus can be like.
Yeah, circus has been for a long time around, and in Europe is more developed and more popular than North America. But yes, Cirque du Soleil definitely piled the road for everybody else. It's everybody know now about circus. Everybody, it's very trendy. Everybody trying, and we do also beside our school, we do a lot of performances and festivals and corporate events and all kind of entertainment.
It's good exposure for your school and for people to see.
Hopefully we want to build the industry for these kids to go into, like they train for something, they learn how to do circus, become very good at it, and then perform, and so have a career.
Have a career, actually, and isn't that amazing, right?
Yes.
And something that will keep them fit and strong for life. And I love that adults can come here as well. So,
yes, they can.
So again, an adult without any experience can come here?
Yeah, most adults come without any experience. They just want to do for fun, and some of them, oh, let's just go once and we'll love it, and then they get hooked. Some people come to us 3 years in a row. And, you know.
That's awesome. I think it's just so much fun. So you guys do performances, as we mentioned, and really there is a lot of elements to the circus. Also very structured for kids. So that's very, very good for them. That I can see probably would help them when they are in school too, because this is something again, physical activity, but also structure. Yes,
the discipline is very. It's a European style, but yeah, like with a lot of safety, a lot of apparatus is in the air, as you see, and so we take safety very seriously, and it helps kids to work hard on something and achieve the goal. And the best, what we find and what we hear feedback from parents too, and that all kids work as a team. So there's a kids age from in the team, let's say from 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, and they work with some performers who's 40 years old.
Oh,
so it's
that's
like
great.
And there's no competition, they don't fight each other, but they work on a common project. Like we put in a production together that we want to take on tour.
Right.
And so everybody work and they learn in stage management and like all the cues.
Isn't that amazing though? And every single person matters, and that's that's good for kids to learn.
Yeah, and that's what the theory behind it, that we need to create a team that works as one big mechanism.
Now, you were telling me not too long ago, again, from here, we were talking about how kids can turn this into a career.
Yep.
You had 9 children that have just recently graduated.
Just recently, well, they're not graduated. National Circus School from Montreal comes here every year to do audition, to hire, to recruit the people to the National Circus School. And 9 students from our school this year been invited to National Circus School.
Isn't that great?
That was great, yeah.
Yes.
And we have 2 students right now there who train there, live in Montreal permanently. But this year is our biggest year. 9 kids made it. So.
Well, good on you guys. That goes to show you, right? You're training them well. And again, it's good for the kids that are here. They have goals and aspirations. They can see those kids moving on. And obviously, we were talking, you have birthday parties as well. So that just brings kids and introduces them to the circus life.
Yep.
So lots of good stuff.
Yeah, it starts recreational, but then for kids who really searching for something, we find a lot of kids they can't find they don't like hockey, they don't like this, you know, but they come to circus and they will work hard. They fall in love,
and it's passion.
But it's also hard work. It's not like, oh, circus is easy.
No.
It's a lot of training.
Well, thank you for letting us come here. This looks like a whole lot of fun, but yes, it is a whole lot of work. Thank you, Costa.
Thanks.
That's it for now. We'll be back with more Terra at Home.
TERRA, where color lives.
Heritage perennials. Look for us in the blue pots.
Good morning. Welcome back to TERRA at Home. I'm here with Betty at About Face Spa in Waterdown, and we're getting all cozy and comfy in January, but unfortunately it's also for a reason as well. So everybody loves going to the spa, but at this time of year, dictating by the weather, facials are really, really good. We need to add moisture back into our skin, right?
That's
weather
right.
does a number.
Yes, it does, especially here in Canada, unfortunately. And dehydration and dryness is one of the major causes of aging, and you show signs of aging a lot quicker. So yeah, facials are definitely a good way to kind of kickstart the moisture, and then a good home care system is something
helps,
that
right? You need to take that with you, right? You need to have that where you're carrying on, because a facial is great to add that boost of loveliness, but then you need to keep it up.
Absolutely.
And maintaining it daily and nightly, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Especially this time of year, it's so hard on us, and we
It
see it, right? And you're trying to drink water, but you got to do a whole bunch of other things. So let's talk first about the facial itself and the benefits, and maybe some of the steps that we need to take to add moisture back to our skin.
Okay. So generally, what we do with a facial is everything's customized to the client's skin type or condition. And what we do is we start out with a cleanser, and normally in the winter we add a cleanser with an emollient in it, which is a moisturizer as well.
Okay.
We need a bit of a heavier cleanser in the winter. And we do a strong exfoliation as well, which is non-invasive, but the exfoliation really helps to slough off all of that dead, dry skin.
That's an important step, right? And I think that some people miss that step, and it seems like when you talk to someone, a professional like yourself, it's like, you need to do that more often. How often should we be exfoliating?
Well, we have an exfoliant that you can use on a daily basis, and it has actually brightening properties in it as well. So it actually brings out all of that brightness in your skin that, especially over the winter.
That'd be easier, then you can't forget about it, right?
That's
you just do it every day.
Yeah.
Versus, I might as well do this 1 or 2 or 3 times a week, right?
Yeah. Okay. No, every day is a good idea, and that way your moisturizer can penetrate so much better as well.
Okay, good. So we've done the cleansing. Cleansing also, one thing to mention as well, is you were mentioning having that emollient in there, having more moisture, so maybe more of a cream cleanser for some people, because some people use still that gel in the winter, and it really strips your skin. It feels tight after washing your face.
It does, yeah, and your skin shouldn't really feel tight after you cleanse it. It should feel clean, but it shouldn't feel tight. Okay. And adding a toner as well is an important step too, because sometimes your acid mantle can get disrupted by if you're using the wrong cleanser, or just with daily, everyday free radical damage. Once you disrupt that pH balance, that's when we can experience problems like dehydration, dryness, even acne. All of that is because the pH levels have been disrupted.
So your skin get irritated and it can react, right?
Right.
So you're looking at a toner maybe perhaps that has maybe no alcohol in it, or a little alcohol,
you don't want alcohol in it. You just want a toner that is pH balanced, and it also has antioxidants as well, which can help fight free radical damage. And also toners will help to prep your skin for taking in moisture as well.
They seem to really do that, right? So they just add that little bit of moistness to the skin before you get to the next stage, right?
That's right.
And the next stage is
serums. You want to add a serum. Serums can penetrate a lot deeper than a moisturizer can, and especially adding a serum with something called hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid can hold about 1,000 times its weight in water, and it can penetrate a lot deeper than your moisturizer can.
So we have Ellen sitting on our bed here for us. She's being our model today.
Beautiful model today.
So the average facial is usually about
an hour or so. Yeah. So the basic steps would be we do a skin analysis, cleansing, exfoliating, and usually we put them under the steam for a few minutes, which is really, really nice and relaxing. And you get a really nice massage as well, which is on the décolleté and a little bit on the back and the neck, and on the face as well, which helps to bring new blood to the surface. Right. And then we finish off with a nice mask, and then a moisturizer on top of that.
So let's talk a little bit about moisturizers as well. So a lot of times you'll hear that you're supposed to switch your moisturizer over in the winter. Should you?
Yes, definitely you should, because again, like I said, we live here in Canada, and we tend to get more dehydrated in the winter, and we're exposed to heat and then the harsh cold weather. If you're outdoors person in the in the winter as well, you need to add a moisturizer with a barrier in it. So definitely a heavier moisturizer.
Heavier, and that goes on after your serum. So now you've done you've locked in all this moisture.
Yes.
And I find some people will also add. It doesn't necessarily mean about adding extra moisturizer on, right? Sometimes people put too much, right? And it's, you maybe could reapply it, but maybe not coat your skin with it, right? Because it's too heavy.
Yeah, if you're finding that you're getting dehydrated during the day and you're starting to feel like tight, what you can do is add add the toner, and it comes in a spray, and you can kind of just spray it on throughout the day. Sometimes I do that, and it actually helps to kind of just bring that brightness back, and kind of helps, you know, that stressed look to kind of go away a little bit.
Relax some of the lines.
Right. Yeah.
All those wonderful things. Right. Okay. So what do you? We should do something for Ellen here today to give her, because we brought you here.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm gonna start out with a cleanse right now, and this is actually called a pre-cleanse. And it has some oils in it, and it actually, oils attract oil. So it helps to take off.
Go figure, right?
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah. And it actually helps to take off all of that dirt and grime that we get exposed to every single day from the environment. And it helps to really lubricate the skin.
What products are you using right now?
We're using Dermalogica. We've been using Dermalogica at About Face. I can't even tell you, for many, many, many years.
Yes.
I love Dermalogica. It's a great line because we can customize every single facial and every single at-home treatment that we recommend, because it's a line with a lot of different products. So we can really customize. It's a more natural product as well.
It doesn't have a lot of harsh perfumes or colorants, right?
No.
I think that's key. And a lot of friends who use it actually as well. So.
Yeah, it's a great line, and like I said, one of my most favorite exfoliants is from Dermalogica. It's called Daily Microfoliant, and it's a rice bran exfoliant, and it has brightening properties in it, which really, really helps to bring that kind of healthy glow to your skin.
And also, you know, before we go, because it's amazing how quickly we run out of time, but just a few elements of the inside out. So good things that you can do inside?
Yes, that's kind of my passion. Especially in the winter, we tend to eat more kind of cooked foods, and that can really dull our skin as well. We might be spending a bit more time indoors on the couch and that, and, you know, we tend to eat a little bit more. So one thing that I really recommend is add a smoothie, or just make sure that you're still eating a lot of raw fruits and vegetables. And a smoothie is a great way to add some antioxidants into your diet by adding some like dark berries in your smoothie.
And exercise, right?
And exercise, yes. Get moving.
The blood flowing.
Get moving. All those toxins need to go. So.
Well, Betty, this has been great, and we could probably stay here for an hour. I know I could.
Right.
I know you'd love to too, Ellen. Thank you so much. Thanks to About Face Spa. Thank you to you.
Well, thank you very much for coming in today.
All right, we'll be back with more Terra at Home.
Sounds good.
TERRA, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
The Hamilton Spectator, at work, at home, or on the go. Read us online, in print, or download us to your e-reader. Get the Hamilton Spectator any way you want it.
Good morning. Welcome back to Terra at Home. We are in the Go Kitchen here at the Spectator Building. Thanks to them for letting us use their space. And thanks to having you join us again, Chef Iain.
Great to be back.
What are we making today?
We are making a classic side dish or a main. It's a wonderful classic risotto. There's a few steps involved. It's sort of an intermediate lesson, so to speak.
Okay.
There's a few steps, and I guess the most important thing to remember is patience when it comes to risotto.
I was just thinking that even when you order in a restaurant, they always tell you it's going to take a little bit longer,
Just take a little bit longer. So without further ado, we're going to get things well underway. We're going to add just a tablespoon of butter into our pan. And ultimately, what we're going to do is we're going to saute up some onions. I think my pot was just a little bit on the hot side. Normally we shouldn't be bring it up to quite such a high temperature.
That's okay.
But we're going to saute the onions down, and it'll take just a few minutes. Okay? And we're going to bring them down to they're nice and soft and translucent. Okay? So ultimately, from there, we are going to add our arborio rice. Okay? A wonderful grained rice. What we're going to do is we're going to toast it. We're going to coat it with the butter and the onions. We're going to start to bring out some of these flavors from the rice itself.
Okay, see, I've never made a risotto before, so I didn't know. Like, I was surprised when you were saying you're adding it at this stage, but it's because you are kind of toasting it up.
We're going to toast it up just a little bit. We're just going to start to bring out some of the aromatics, and I'm always, always, always keeping an eye on my onions. I really don't want to brown them at all. I just want to keep them nice and soft and yellow and translucent. Okay. Now, we're doing a butternut squash risotto, so I've just added a cup of my arborio rice to my onion and butter mixture. And so while I keep my eye on that and stirring occasionally, I'm going to start with, I have 2 cups of butternut squash. Ultimately what I've done is I've cut it into a smaller cube and I put it into some boiling water. I could also do it in a steamer if for the sake of time. Sure. But essentially what I'm going to do is just take my fork and I'm going to turn this into a mash.
Okay, so soft enough that you would be able to do that fairly easily.
Yes, well said. Again, they're very tender to the finger, and we're going to turn that into a mash. If I could ask you for your help, if you can continue to do that. Sure. Like I said, we've always got to keep an eye on our rice. The last thing that we want to do is scorch. And if I can lean this a little bit towards the camera, I just want to show that we're starting to glaze the rice itself. Okay? There's enough butter that we're starting to coat it, and it starts to take on a shiny sort of look, the rice itself. Okay. So I'm going to adjust the heat slightly because we're going to start very soon to be starting to add our chicken stock. Now again, if we have vegetarians in our audience, ultimately we can use a vegetable stock or we can use tap water, Lake Ontario, right?
Okay, sure. That's the best part about a risotto is you can just adapt it to anybody, right?
Oh, exactly. And again, you really are looking at a blank slate, Leslie. Yeah. With the arborio rice, you can add wild mushrooms, wild and tame mushrooms. Oh,
I love mushroom risotto.
Yeah,
it's great. With truffle oil.
With a little bit of truffle oil and Parmesan cheese.
Yes.
Absolutely. As I said, I'm just toasting my rice down. Today's a butternut squash, and you're doing a fabulous job. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm trying very hard.
And what I've done is it's now nice and toasted. I'm just going to add a 1/3 of a cup of wine. Just going to let some of that evaporate off itself. I'll do another tilt towards the camera, and we're getting very close. You can have that wonderful smell coming up right now of you've got the onions and butter and white wine.
And white wine, that's like really just a nice smell, isn't it? It's a good combo.
It is a great. So I'm adjusting the heat. Like I said, we're going to be adding our stock to it. And we touched upon just recently, you know, whether it's beef stock, it's chicken stock, or vegetable stock. I'm going to be using a chicken stock, something I found on my supermarket shelf. I didn't have the time today to make my own chicken stock, so
that's the good part about stock.
What I do like is I do like to find something that's low in sodium. I find with a lot of salt added to it, you really do have to adjust your seasoning otherwise. If I keep it a low sodium base, again, I have a little more movement of play of putting it in. So the trick is, I'm getting to a point now, as you can see, my onions are starting to soften up just a little bit. I've coated my rice. I'm going to start ladling in. What's really important is our hot stock mixture. Okay. I just want to keep it at a temperature. If it's a cold stock going into a hot, your pot is always constantly fighting to bring itself back up to heat, and we're not really effectively cooking our rice out.
Okay, no, that makes sense, absolutely.
We're going to add just a ladle at a time. And I'll do it as slow as I possibly can. And we do it little bit by little bit, essentially, and we cook it out until the rice absorbs.
Okay.
And essentially the name of the game is we just keep ladling in our stock
until it absorbs.
Until it absorbs. Until it can't absorb any longer.
Oh, see, I always thought you just poured it all in there and let it just soak in, and then it just...
Well, again, with the traditional long grain rice or a minute rice, yes, most definitely. You put your rice in, put a tab of butter in. It has a place. This is just a little more refined. How's that?
Okay.
Okay. You're doing a great job again.
How's it? Do I need to keep going?
Look, no, absolutely fantastic.
It's labor intensive. It's really not that bad.
We're going to start to add in our mixture of butternut as well. And like I said, we're just adding ladle at a time. Now, I did also mention, you know, this is a side dish. You know, if you're having any sort of, you know, protein, it's a heavier type side dish.
Yes.
So you'd want to balance it appropriately. Ultimately, you know, whether it's with game, it's with, you know, chicken or pork, it all has its place.
How about a duck breast?
A duck breast, absolutely. Wonderful.
I'm just thinking
that's your wild mushrooms?
Yes.
Yeah, it's great. I'm just adding in my 2 cups of my wonderfully mashed butternut squash. And all of a sudden, it's going to take on this wonderful orange color. Here we go. Like I said, there you go.
Let me see.
Nice clear shot. And again, it's a patient game.
And kind of just keep going.
Ultimately,
see, I thought when we were first making this, I thought you were going to keep the, because you had them so cutely diced here, the squash, you were going to just throw them in like that. But this actually would just really just makes it a full flavor of
it just cooks it down, and like I said, it really just starts to incorporate the color, and it looks absolutely fabulous.
Okay, so what we'll do is we're going to keep cooking this, and through the magic of television, of course, the risotto will be done when we come back. So just stay tuned. We'll be right back.
TERRA, where color lives.
Welcome back to TERRA at Home, and we have had our risotto cooking away over here, so officially all the stock is in.
All the stock is in. We boiled rice in, toasted it with some butter and some onions that became translucent. We coated our rice with the butter nice and shiny, started to toast it a little bit, and then we started incorporating our chicken stock.
Okay.
Our butternut squash mix went in. Thanks again for mashing it up.
Right.
It went into the mix, and you keep incorporating the chicken stock until it takes no more. What we've done now is I've taken it off the heat, and we're going to add some of the best ingredients yet. A little smack of butter, your favorite, because everything tastes better with butter.
So, okay, so I just want to ask too, so once you put in that last bit of stock, how much longer does it have to cook after that? Just until it's absorbed?
Ultimately, just until it's absorbed. I do give it a couple of stirs, and then I turn off the heat. That's a great question. I turn off the heat, and I just let it sit and let the rice absorb it up. I still want a little bit of crunch, like a little al dente, a little bit of bite back, but ultimately, that's how I'd like to leave it.
Okay.
A little bit of butter, a little bit of salt, and some Parmesan cheese. Now, not the Parmesan cheese that we find in the supermarket that comes in a shaker can.
No, you want
this is
freshly
a cheese,
grated.
freshly grated.
Okay, and you're putting a whole lot in there?
A good whole lot of cheese into it.
All risottos pretty much have cheese in them, don't they?
Most definitely. And again, I'm just going to stir it.
Okay, just a reminder too, you can find these recipes online at terragreenhouses.com. And again, that way you can make your own yummy dish in the middle of winter that'll make you feel good. And this is a good stick to your ribs kind of one. So
certainly
I can't wait to try this. This looks
and the
amazing.
color is just incredible.
Color is awesome.
It really is, and it looks
very, very good. So again,
fabulous.
you could eat this on its own, or as you said, put a protein with it.
I'm going to just do a little sprinkle
of that.
of that.
Meal. Look at
There
that.
you go.
Very nice. Nice job, Chef Iain. That looks really, really good. So again, we continue to make all these yummy recipes, and I love how we do seasonal and we do what works for us this time of year. So awesome stuff. Thank you.
Thanks so much for your time.
All right. Have yourself a great weekend.